Alright, here today we are interviewing one of the biggest Metal Gear fans. My best friend, I talked about him in the previous video, and here today we're talking about Metal Gear Solid 5, the very controversial Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. And, so, I have a question to ask you for the first question. Nathan's a little nervous.
Just a little bit.
For the first question, what were your initial thoughts about the ending? The first and chapter 1 and chapter 2 ending. What did you think?
After chapter 1 ended, I really liked the way it was presented and everything. Stop!
Alright, sorry, go ahead.
No, we gotta start this whole thing.
No, you don't have to, go ahead.
Okay, so, after chapter 1 ending, I would have been really disappointed if it would have ended off on that, because it didn't give any closure to Big Boss.
Yeah.
Because that is the better character out of the two.
It's true, I said it too, yeah.
Yeah, and it wouldn't have given any closure to how he becomes evil, because he hadn't really had any evolution of his character turning evil yet in the game.
That's what we thought initially.
Yeah. And then, should I spoilers? No spoilers?
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Okay, spoiler alert. I thought it was cool the way Skullface died, and then how, it showed the flashback, Ground Zeroes, Kaz, and Big Boss. But, yet again, it just wouldn't have given any the closure I wanted, to close the gap of the series.
So all in all, not a good Metal Gear ending for chapter 1.
If it was chapter 1.
Yeah.
But as a self-contained moment in itself, it's a great moment.
Just the cutscene.
Just the cutscene itself is great.
Okay.
The ending for chapter 2, initially, when it first happened,
it's
mad. It's mad. Then all of a sudden, spoiler alert again.
Yeah, well, they already know. So.
Yeah, okay, so,
I'll put it in the title of the video. It's okay.
Yeah, all of a sudden it shows it, and, Big Boss, they show it, and it's Big Boss. You're not Big Boss. You were the medic in, you're the medic in the chopper of Ground Zeroes.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, I don't know how I like that. I don't know if I like it or not. I was mixed.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden the timeline thing, they showed the timeline and how it ties into Metal Gear 1 and how the Phantom's the one that's killed, not Big Boss.
Yeah.
And that explains how people wondered how he lived after Metal Gear 1.
Yeah.
And that explains that. And then, I listened to all the cassette tapes, and it was really interesting how Zero was behind it too.
Yeah, very interesting actually.
And I love and I also feel like that answers the question of why Snake doesn't talk much, because it's not actually Snake.
Yeah.
It's just his Phantom.
Well, hey, we'll say that for some question down the line.
Okay.
Okay, question 2. What did you like the cassette tapes, or would you have rather had them in cutscenes?
That's a really good question. Some of them I could not imagine in cutscene.
Yeah, because they were really long.
Yeah.
But, because there's so many and they're really long.
Yeah, like the conversation between Skullface and
I don't
Zero.
just mean it's like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's just got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The conversation between Skullface and Zero,
Yeah.
I can't imagine that being a cutscene.
You really can't?
No, and it's also a lot of the... We're talking about the important cassette tapes, the one that are highlighted, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I would have liked if some of the Huey things would have been cutscenes too, because there was important stuff in there.
Yeah.
There was really cool information that I feel like...
Some of the torture scenes would have been cool.
It feels like you're not going to get 100% out of the game, in my opinion, if you don't listen to those, because there's some really cool information in there.
Yeah.
But yet again, there are some that I wish were cutscenes.
Yeah.
It's half and half. I like it, but there were some I wish were cutscenes, and
I agree.
I feel like I love the Truth cassette tapes though. I really do. I feel like I couldn't imagine those being cutscenes. The Truth cassette tapes.
You did say like the Cobra Unit thing and everything like.
I love how it explains the Cobra Unit.
Yeah.
I love that, and I love Zero.
I love it showing Skullface.
I feel like if you saw Zero, it would have less of an effect.
Yeah.
Because Zero is such a mysterious character at this point in the series.
Yeah.
I feel like just hearing him really adds to that.
Yeah.
So, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. So you done?
On to the next one. What's your opinion on it?
I think there should have been. I think some of them should have been, just like you. Some of them shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of them. And what I mean by that is there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's just about one subject, and they're all 6 minutes apiece.
Yeah.
So it would have been hard to do, and I as a Metal Gear fan, we'll get into this in the next question.
Yeah.
But it would have been nice to have more cutscenes.
Yeah.
in the chapter
for sure.
1. And
Chapter 2 changed that.
chapter 2 does change that if you are 30 plus hours into the game.
You gotta
So-
play. You gotta play a lot.
Yeah.
You gotta play a lot.
Okay. So question 3 is
Mhm.
Are you mad that Woody didn't get to play as Big Boss? Or are you just you accept it as a Metal Gear fan, you make sense of the story and you accept the fact that that's what it is? Well, something messed up, so we're gonna have to we were talking about Big Boss and how are you upset that you weren't playing as Big Boss, or did you accept the fact that it makes sense to the story and you're okay with it? Because some people are mad just because they weren't playing as Big Boss. They don't just look at it that way.
Yeah, and I feel like, talking about the medic thing earlier, I kind of cringe while I said that because, I read something pretty interesting. And it was like, you're not playing as the medic. The medic isn't Big Boss, pretty much. You are the Big Boss because you created the medic.
Yeah.
And you gave him a name and everything. And I feel like that's Kojima's final send-off to his fans, giving them the title of Big Boss. I think that's a really good way to look at it. I forgot who I saw said that, but I totally agree with him when I saw that.
Yeah.
And not only the fact that I feel like it's still a Big Boss game, because the whole time
background.
he's behind the scenes doing things, building Outer Heaven.
Yep.
Which the game wants you the whole game, to think, I'm building Outer Heaven, this is leading into Metal Gear 1. And it's really clever in the way it completely throws you off. And that's why I feel like it's controversial. People don't like the ending. And, one mission was cut. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
And not only that, it just ties up one character. And while it would have been cool, a few missions were cut, it would have been cool to see those missions. It still doesn't detract from the game for me. Anyways, I don't feel like the story's unfinished because of it. I can't imagine another ending than the chapter 2 ending. You know what I mean?
But the question is not the ending. Is it? Are you? So you're totally fine with being Ahab?
Yeah.
You're not mad in any way. There's not a part of you man, I wish some aspect I did.
5% of me.
5%.
5% of me was like, you know what? It would have been amazing to play as Big Boss.
Okay, to be clear, Nate did say he would hate the game if he was a Big Boss before it happened.
I was like an hour.
You said it, so.
I was not too far into it. I was like, I said I'd be pissed. I didn't say I'd hate the game. I said I'd be pissed. I wasn't first here.
Okay. Okay, so question 4, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Which the video's not that long, but we may go to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so second question, or fourth question, I don't know.
Fourth
question. Okay, do you think this game are people gonna, sorry, messed up again, hopefully we can get through this, but I was asking Nathan the question, people were split on Metal Gear Solid 2,
Yeah.
people were split on MGS 3, people were split on MGS 4. Every Metal Gear game people are split on.
Yeah.
Some people don't like this one, some people
Other Metal Gear Solid 1.
Yeah,
It's
so
the
do you
only
think it'll ever die down? Because it is pretty extreme, and how
Okay.
much is it due to fans just getting into Metal Gear? Do you think that has a lot to do with it?
I do. I feel like any person who thinks logically will realize this game is fantastic.
Yeah,
It's a great game.
it is.
It's a masterpiece.
Yes.
I mean, it's like MGS3. It kind of split fans for a little bit.
Because of the
MGS2,
way it was.
yeah, because
The-
they had
the
so many
gameplay.
questions after 2, and there was a lock camera in the jungle that was kind of open worldish.
Yeah.
And then it kind of made people mad.
Yeah.
But then that game, especially when Subsistence came out, all that died down,
Yeah.
and it's fine now. That's people's favorite, still my favorite.
Mm.
Metal Gear Solid 2, still to this day, splits people, and it's the same for Metal Gear Solid 4. The issue with Metal Gear Solid 4, people said, which I don't have an issue with this, is there too many cutscenes, not enough gameplay. In my opinion, you can't have too many Metal Gear cutscenes. You can't have too much of that. In this game, it's like 5 people are complaining they got what they wanted, less cutscenes. There would have been the same amount of cutscenes if you wouldn't have complained about it in 4.
Yeah.
They got what they wanted, yet they're complaining about it. It's like, you can't please everybody. This game will, in a couple years, when everybody looks back at it, they will look back at it and say, this is a masterpiece. And some people, most people are right. Most people love this game.
Yeah.
But there are a good amount that don't like it, and I feel like that's just because, mainly probably because of the Chapter 2 ending, truth ending. And I can see how that can make somebody mad.
Yeah.
But I feel like once you really sit down and think about it, in a couple years, it'll be considered a masterpiece just like every other one.
And I think all it depends if you ask the person how many games have you played.
Mm-hmm.
Because
we played every one.
affects
Yeah.
everything. So it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So question 5.
Final question, right?
I'm gonna ask you another one after this.
Okay.
Okay. How do I put this? Okay. Let's see. Is this the best gameplay you have ever played? And
Why?
well, yeah, I guess you could say why, but it would be like if we would sit here for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To answer
just a question. Just why?
I'll give this a smaller answer because if I really talked about why I love this gameplay in depth,
Yeah.
I'd be here for a while.
Yeah.
But this is the best gameplay I've ever played in a video game ever.
Yes.
And I mean,
And people can hate all they want. I mean, it's just our opinion on it. But I mean,
yeah.
people
say the gameplay is amazing, and people are split story. That's what they're split on. I mean, people say the gameplay.
And is there enough content? Because that is a
people say the game. Well, to answer the fact there isn't enough content.
Yeah.
As of right now, I put about 91 hours to the game.
Yes.
54% through the game as a whole. Like 100%, like mission tasks,
Yes.
side ops.
Yes.
Beat the main story, of course, because
Yep.
or else we'll be talking about this.
Mhm.
But I mean, the game is massive, and it has tons and tons and tons of content. I don't get how you can say this game doesn't have enough content. I really don't understand that. Now, the gameplay can be repetitive to an extent because a lot of missions are
All
like
gameplay.
it's like
in that logic, then all gameplay is repetitive.
yeah, but I mean when the gameplay's fun, it's like it's not even a big deal. Like they're like say there's a certain amount of number of side missions.
Yeah.
But they're all different from each other because
Yeah.
say eliminated heavy infantry 1, you only have like one armored vehicle and a few guards, like one sniper and a couple dudes around the armored vehicle.
Yeah.
Then once you get into later ones, all of a sudden you have large areas where there's gunships, tanks, armored vehicles, snipers, and like Italian soldiers everywhere. It's challenging, but it's fun and it's exciting, and it's a ton of fun. It's just the game's just fun to play.
It is. It's extremely fun. Okay, the last question.
And the systems are incredible, and the Fox engine.
The gadgets,
And the
gadgets
Fox-
keep giving you cooler stuff to
Yeah,
do.
and the
I don't
Fox
think it's
engine.
repetitive in any sense
Yeah,
of
and
imagination.
the Fox engine's so good. It's like you'll never play the same mission the same way.
Yeah, and
What?
I think the upgrading system is better than Witcher and Arkham Knight. So
Arkham Knight for sure.
I
Yeah,
mean,
and the Witcher 3, that was like a small complaint. I didn't like the way.
you don't get a lot to do with it. Like, there's not much to do.
I will admit.
Okay, let's stop.
I will admit the open world in The Witcher 3
Mm-hmm.
was more in depth because essentially the open world in Metal Gear Solid
Well, it's
5
built
is,
differently.
yeah, it uses its open world very differently from Metal Gear Solid 5. The open world from Metal Gear Solid 5 is just a bunch of, it's like connecting outposts and stuff. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
it's built totally different.
But because that's the type of game it is.
Exactly,
Now,
it's built different.
they used both their open worlds the same way, great.
Yeah.
And Metal Gear Solid 5 surpasses The Witcher 3 in my mind. And I love that game. And Fallout 4 doesn't stand a chance in my mind. Hate all you
Oh,
want.
okay,
Hate all
okay.
you
Let's
want.
not kill people.
Okay.
We'll see what happens with Fallout
Gameplay wise, especially.
because nobody's played the game yet.
Yeah.
But Nathan, just don't say stuff like that in the videos, okay? It's me.
Okay, let's
But-
stir controversy. Let's start.
All right. So,
Sure.
last question.
Last question.
This is the last Hideo Kojima game.
Mm-hmm.
Did it live up to expectations? And do you think there will be DLC? And should there be DLC?
Dude, I mean, I was expecting a masterpiece of a game,
Did you get it?
and I got that.
You got it.
I got a game
And
that I
we just
loved.
talked about why. Okay. So let's do it again.
You heard the question.
No, they didn't hear the
They
question.
didn't hear the question.
So, I don't think they did. It doesn't matter. I'm
Okay.
asking it again. Okay. Did it live up to expectations since this is the last Hideo Kojima game?
Yeah.
Should there be DLC? Answer the question.
Yeah, this did live up to expectations. I was expecting an absolute masterpiece, one of the best games ever, and I got that for sure. It is a fantastic game
Yep.
with tons of content, by the way, and a great story, in my opinion. And should there be DLC?
From
Yes.
Chapter 3.
Mission 51 needs to be DLC, and I think they can do it.